Before I dive into my snack, let's talk about this and get into a match. So, Yarok Field here. This is a deck we played last season. This is the one I went 5-2 with and 7-2, so like 12-4, whatever. In the MCQ weekend, I missed on breakers. I honestly was really impressed yesterday when we played this with just the consistency of the deck, even through losing the check lands. Both these castles are very good. The Fabled Passages are excellent at color fixing. Beanstalk Giant's been reasonable. Honestly, though, Once Upon a Time just adds such an absurd level of consistency to all of these green decks. The big standout in this deck this season versus last season is just this: you're able to find your untapped land so much more consistently in the early game, both because we're playing more basics and castles instead of memorials, and because Once Upon a Time really smooth things out. The only change I've made, I believe, from the list we were playing yesterday is I've gone to 3 Beanstalks and 3 Cavalier of Thorns. And the reason why I'm trimming a Cavalier of Thorns is, even though this card's obviously very powerful, a very real concern, since we don't have one copy of Nexus of Fate anymore, is in the mid-range matchups, you're going to deck out with some frequency. It's just like the games go long and you can't always close. So Cavalier of Thorns, especially with Yarok out, gives us a higher risk of decking, and Beanstalk Giant being extra ramp has been really good, and it's an extra threat as well. So while it's not quite the card advantage monster that this is, it doesn't run the risk of decking us, and it gives us some more earlier plays, which is nice. So let's go ahead and dive on in. As always, if you're interested in the exact deck list, you can find the deck list on the screen via the Stream Decker widget. You can also find this deck list on my website, jeffhoagland.com. The standard decks page on there did get populated last night. This is one of the first 4 decks that I put up there. I actually haven't played against that much of that deck, Springsburg. Today we played against it once for the first time. Yeah, that's exactly right, Flock. So, like, you could play Jace to theoretically help with milling out or, like, winning the game alternatively, but you need to play multiple copies of him, and he's not good enough to... Yeah, you didn't have to draw Nexus, is exactly the takeaway. The Nexus was great because you didn't have to draw it. Alright, we're playing a 29 land deck. Hopefully we can draw a land in 2 draws here. We missed on the first one. Nothing but net there. Christian, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate you shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month and keeping me employed. Looks like we're gonna get to play against the Esper deck here, and we'll see how this goes. Maybe we do want Unmorty go for this matchup. This is not a matchup we've played. Let's see how it feels. So, Beanstalk Giant actually gets the land. It fetches untapped. So we can use this to go get an island and then cast Thought Erasure this turn, which is great. He's dead, Jim. You've murdered him. Oh, they're not playing that deck. Okay, this is probably much better for us. Huh. So, I think we take D-Spark here, right? Because that kills my thing. Fabled Passage lets me play Cavalier of Thorns. So that sounds excellent. I could go either way on that, Steric. We couldn't tap differently too, right? Because green, no, you're wrong. We had to get an island or a swamp there. I think I want to do this before Cavalier. Maybe this is wrong, because if they draw a 5th land, they can kill this. And they're pretty likely to have a 5th land. Yeah, that might be wrong. It might be right to go, like, Cavalier and then try and Thought Erasure them this turn. Yeah, this was probably incorrect. Welcome to the jungle, baby. I have no idea, E-Teach War. So that's why it's not in my sideboard. If I had a card to cut, I'd cut it. Hey, the Oratog, thanks for the 16 months. C unit, welcome back. Black, white, knight, mid-range, interesting. Swing and a miss, rough. Are you really Legion's ending my 0-3? That's a bold choice against my deck that's very obviously a Field of the Dead deck. Who doesn't love an 8-8, really? The Sloth was very intimidating. Was that a good draw, chat? So I'm drawing this to my hand because I haven't played a land yet. Mardu Knights was awesome. If you're looking for a Smorky deck, would highly recommend the Mardu Knights deck from this morning. It was quite good. Alright, so there's only one basic left in my deck. I think I'm gonna hang out and risk drawing it for a little bit. Just because if I attack with this, they don't have 10 power, right? If they get this back, I have Blast Zone. Sure. This card's good. I think I like having a third copy of this over the 4th Cavalier. And as always, if someone who's interested in Knights and you didn't catch it bright and early this morning, we've been going for about 3.5 hours already. You'll be able to catch that on my website and my YouTube channel later tonight. So this is exactly why I waited to play the Fabled Passage. So now, next turn, this will be able to make a bunch of Zomboys and girls, which is nice. I guess if I attack here, they get to get this back and impulse with it, but that's kind of fine, right? And if they want to double block here, I can kill this and they don't get a thing back, and then I get a Risen Reef back, which sounds excellent. Murderous Rider is very, very good. Murderous Rider is what we like to call a format staple in the biz. Let's blow this up and kill our things here. Smush. Lordy, are these castles good? I think all the mythic and rare adventures will be staples. Yeah, probably. Very, very likely. They're like debating on if they want to double block or like stack block this yet. And they're decided they don't. Rising Toast, welcome back for the 5th month. I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good one. All right, so last trophy sounds good here. Is Noxious Grasp good enough? I don't know that it is. A Grazer seems kind of medium here. But I either have Legion's End or Noxious Grasp. Legion's End deals with their 1-drop knight, so it's probably that one. Kind of marginal either way. I think our deck's pretty well. Boarding here pretty minimally makes a lot of sense for us because our deck is pretty well set up to handle like these mid-range style decks like my opponent's playing. Yeah, Legion's End randomly cleans up a bunch of 1/1s. They make a lot of tokens with their 2-drops. That's nice. We got you, Voodoo. We aim to please. Aim to please around here. I would be very surprised if Field of the Dead is not competitive. If some iteration. No. The entire last season, play design's been around for a hot second now. So play design was around for the entirety of the last year. Weed Socks, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Random thought, I find it interesting that all the most popular streamers for Magic are not MPL players. I don't think that's that interesting. I think if you think about it, like they're different skill sets, right? Like being a good competitive Magic player and like being an entertaining and engaging Magic streamer aren't necessarily the same thing. And while there's definitely a number of the MPL players who have crossed over well, like being a good Magic player doesn't guarantee that you're going to be a good streamer. You think Boros Feather is viable? Maybe. I know, I tend not to give strong opinions in one direction or another on things I don't have experience with. Blast Zone's great here, so I get to shock this in and Thought Erasure them, and the next turn I can go Blast Zone and use Beanstalk Giant to grab a forest. Grab their 2-for-1. I think I'm bidding that for now. I don't really want to spend mana digging for a land, or do I? I might actually. That could go either way. I'm just going to pump up the jam here. Yep. I wonder if well, the game really wants us to have a Once Upon a Time. So, I think I'm going to play the Dismal Backwater here, actually, and pivot. So, I'm going to plan to trophy this if they pump it again. I'm going to trophy it regardless, probably. Sure. In general, Rock Earth, I think I'd prefer if we don't like call out specific people. Say generically about things, but no need for that really. So next turn, because Beanstalk Giant Because Beanstalk Giant puts a land into play untapped, I actually get to go Blast Zone, Beanstalk for a forest, and then still be able to cast Once Upon a Time at the end of their turn, which is sweet. We might actually be in danger of getting run down here. I wonder if this is right. I wonder if I'm supposed to... It might actually be right for me to crank up... Maybe I think I'm cranking up Blast Zone next turn. Because we know this removal spell is heads up, right? I was hoping to find a green source there. I think with this murder being heads up in their hand here, I think I'm actually... Hey, thanks for the 16 deck, yo. Good to have you around at any rate. Yeah, I think with this being heads up, I don't just jam this here, especially missing the third green for this. So I'm gonna take my lick for 4 more here and then crack this next turn. I also get to make a zombie next turn before I crack this, which is nice. The castle's a seventh land for the time being. That's a lot of murders. Murder, she wrote. Yeah, I actually think the mana is better in this deck this season. Once Upon a Time is very strong. So, buttons on your underwear, that kind of changes things. Do I Yarok and then like double passage and make 8 zombies? Or 4 zombies, right? Because each will make 2. Nah, I don't think so. It's tough. So like, if this is a third green for me, if I let this be a third green, it then doesn't give me, well, Yarok's dead is the problem. But the problem is Yarok's dead. Yeah. Yeah, if they have Legion's End, we die. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm just gonna play Castle and pass. The Legion's End dead is a good observation. I wonder if they're gonna murder this. Yeah, these attacking gives things indestructible. This attack puts me to 4. I wonder if they're playing the Drain Knight. That could be a real concern. That's a good draw. So now, unfortunately, it depends on how you look at it exactly. I need to fetch a forest with this, though. So the land I get with this is not going to make zombies here, which kind of sucks. Because I already have a forest. But I need a forest so I can cast this. I need a forest so I can cast this. So I'm going to let damage happen here. And then at end of turn, we'll trophy this, which will put this toughness down to 2 because they're losing a knight. And then hopefully this will find me a land I don't already have, so it can make a zombie, and then this land drop can make a zombie. Or I could just draw a land I don't already have naturally. That sounds great. I still have 9, 9, 10, 10 hanging out in the corner. We did hit our Lego Bastion. Well, Christy hit her Lego Bastion. I did not hit my Lego Bastion, but I'm okay with that. Alright, so we get back Blast Zone, right? So they killed this in response to the trigger, but I have a good land to get back, so that's fine. So you don't want to put a spell back on top because this first trigger is going to happen. Alright, do I want Blast Zone or do I want a second Field of the Dead? It's a pretty real question. Second Field of the Dead is much, much worse in the face of a Legion's End. So I think I'm going to take the Blast Zone and be a little conservative here. Yeah, X equals 3 looks real good. I agree. Yep. Yep. Was that like the best possibles? I feel like that was the best possibles. Yikes. Feels dead, man. That's fine. We get to be able to play for game 3. We're in, like, technically not dead yet territory, but in practicality, we are mostly dead. We're only mostly dead. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded here. Just gonna go ahead and run it back. Hopefully they don't play a Citadel into the Stone Colds on us in the 3rd game. Sure, maybe dirty digits. I don't know. It doesn't actually matter. I think I'm mulligan a hand with no green. This seems fine. Hey, thanks for the tip, Anzo. I'm gonna Once Upon a Time on 0 here, just in case we find a tapped land. Alright, it's interesting. Think I want Risen Reef? Yeah, tip for a deck to add to the queue, I assume. Take a peek, boom. For more Blue-Red Alliance. Yeah, 10 out of 10. We're gonna play that one again today, too. Alliance is great. Need to pick between this, Alliance, and, this, Alliance, and, green-black. We hit a land, Poppy! Alright, if they don't have a Noxious Grasp here, we get to slam Yarok next turn. Just play a 3-drop. Don't murder my thing. Perfect. No blocks. I'm playing in the E-League Weekly Tournament next week. It airs on Wednesday. Wednesday night. I'm unfortunately short quad black here, so I can't currently Rider and cast Rider in the same turn. Yep. Contender gets contender. Sounds right. I don't want to trade these, right? It might be right to trade those, just so I don't have another thing. Hey, there's quad black. Do I even want to do that, though? I feel like I just want to play this tapped. I'm gonna murder this one so it stops poking me. Ooh, that was almost an oopsie. Not having a field yet really sucks. They find a way to kill this. Yep. I'm gonna be in a bit of trouble here. Once upon a time, there was a... Sure. ho, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Do 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 do. Yeah, once adding a really nice level of consistency there, right? Like, lands in the early game, bombs in the late game. So now here's a question. Do I trophy this just to get it out of the way? I think I do, right? Because I've got like 10 tutus. And I really don't want them lifelinking. It also gets my hand empty, so my castle can draw me cards for minimal damage. It sucks if they have, like, their artifact or whatever, but, like, I'm gonna hit their life total hard enough here that that probably doesn't matter, right? Whoa, we got one out of their hand. That's great. All right, and I think we just smash, right? This is only 8. Yeah, I just want to make their, what's it called, that they pay life to do stuff just much worse here. Just want to hit them for a big chunk. They get 2 zombie eats for free, and then like they take a giant ball. So like now their Citadel's no good anymore as a top deck. Legions ends their best possible top deck. Even then I have Cavalier, Murderous Rider, and Castle left over, which is great. I've liked the updated field deck. Feels good still. Still devours mid-range decks. Still devours mid-range and is reasonable against aggro. Onward, upwards, backwards, forwards, huh? Does this deck have a favored control matchup? It did last season. Last season, this deck was very good against control. Is that still the case? Uncertain. Don't know what the control decks look like currently. I think this is a mulligan. Triple, this is a little bit awkward. It's a lot of life loss even with this. We have a Grazer, but we don't have extra lands for it to really ramp into. What do the kids say? YOLO? Yeah, Rejuvenator left. Nothing but net, chat. Nothing but net. We're so good at this game. We're so good at this game. Yeah, once is a live draw 2 at this point, right? Like, Abzan Beastly, eh? I mean, as far as, like, non-land hits there go, that one's towards the top, right? Murder, She Wrote. I think I'm Beanstalking this turn now. Because again, Beanstalk comes into play untapped for whatever ungodly reason. So I get to grab a Forest here and Trophy this turn. Which is great. Keep this guy off my back a little bit. We have 5 differently named lands. This is 6, this is 7. The artwork on these new basics is so superb. Kill the beauty? Nah, I'm gonna kill the 5/5. The 1/1 doesn't really matter, and like the chance of them having another meaningful threat is high. Well, now we're killing that one, right? I think the green-black henge deck is very good. If we're exceptionally lucky, this Risen Reef is going to hit a land and we'll start making zombies next turn. Which would be ideal. Or we'll draw another removal spell. I guess we could technically do both, huh? This could hit a land, we could make zombies, and we could Assassin's Trophy something. Oh, buddy old pal. Oh, buddy old pal. That one can stay right there. Have your cake and eat it too, chat. Hashtag sometimes lucky. Shouldn't we make 2 zombies off of Fabled Passage? Nah, I want to greed. 1, I don't want to shuffle this card away. 2, Fabled Passage will make 4 zombies with Yarok next turn.
Got a good head on those shoulders. For now.
I think green-black henge is the strongest deck right now. I think it's way too early to make any meaningful judgments about what's best or not. I think anybody trying to tell you they know what the best deck is already is either stupid or trying to sell you something. And either rate, you should take what they're saying with a grain of salt. Oh, but still my heart, chat. All right, so let's fetch before we surveil. Dubs Doomblade, eh? I don't really care about Nightpack Ambusher, right? And like this gives me a land. I think we just take Murderous Rider here. Once upon a time, there was a lot of consistency. I think second Reef there to draw a bunch of cards leaves my opponent like Legion's End and Questing Beast and stuff like that to mess me up. So I'd rather just be conservative. Like, I'm in a good spot right now, and I ask myself the question, how do I manage to lose this game? And the answer to how do I manage to lose this game is giving my opponent the ability to hit a perfect sequence of cards to sneak in these last 7 points of damage. So I think aiming to be conservative with my life total is ideal here. I think it's worth shuffling this once to get a basic here. Hey, Bun Magician. Thanks for the biddies. Hope you're having an excellent Saturday wherever you are. We are doing excellent, Weather Lady. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I draw an untapped land in my 3 draws next turn, we get to go Risen Reef plus Beanstalk Giant. Or we could just draw that. I don't know about second Garrick being screwed. I think we're in a position to beat up a second Garrick at this point. Once upon a time, there was a third Risen Reef. Yarok, Papi. Alrighty, I'd like an extra blocker here. Just in case they have main deck Legion's End. I don't think main deck Legion's End is unreasonable right now. That card's pretty decent still. And I think I'm not killing this Nightpack Ambusher right away because they could draw a Questing Beast. And Questing Beast is currently in the mess me up territory. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. Oh, we can ride our own zombie. I'm so used to all these cards being templated as creature you don't control. Yeah, we could totally Murderous Rider our own zombie in response to Legion's End. Red Rover, let the squad come on over. Our boys are bigger. I really wonder what the out is to beat this Yarok. This Yarok's just like about to draw 4 cards and like make infinite. Enjoy your land. Hashtag worth. Hashtag worth. Alright, so Absian stuff. This deck's very satisfying to eat mid-range decks with. I think it's just like 3 Grazer out, 2 Grasp, a Trophy in. Sounds great. Again, this deck's mid-range matchup is very reasonable, so you're boarding pretty minimally here. The Grazer basically comes out anywhere. It's not a meaningful blocker. It's just a small hedge against aggro in the main deck that's like also okay in non-aggro matchups game 1. If you're looking for an aggro deck to play best of one, I'd recommend Mardu Knights. The Mardu Knights deck we played this morning was excellent. It'll be up on my website later today, and in the meantime, you can find that on my Stream Decker page here. It's the most impressive deck so far. Nothing. Standard's great. Don't ruin Christmas, okay? Standard rotation is Christmas. Stop trying to ruin it. Yeah, I cut the 4th Cavalier from this list. Yeah, I think I'm in for that. A little bit interactivity. I think this deck's a lot less greedy than the Golos Gates variations. I think this deck has infinitely more respect and play to it against the aggressive decks in the format. I think I'm in for more reefs. Yes, no, please respond. Yeah, that looks great. That would be fine. As a heads up, Scholar, would you be okay if I played it 2 decks from now, though? Because the Alliance deck is one I want to test to submit before I have a tournament submission. I have a tournament submission deadline this evening. Brendan, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. He's dead, Jim. You've killed him. Can I have a land, please? 29 land deck. Deal. In. Yeah, sure. If you want to slide it in for 50, that would be fine, Scholar. Also keep in mind, if you submit things in advance, it's much, much cheaper. Much cheaper. Burning Piggy, thanks for the 19 months. I have to submit a deck by 5 o'clock tonight for the E-League thing. I think I want to fetch a swamp and then Noxious Grasp this. In advance, I wonder what that means. It's a weird, I know it's a weird concept for you. Bun Magician, thanks for the brand new Prime support as well. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Hope you're having an excellent day. Yeah, my plan for people that weren't here yesterday, we currently have an awesome audience here. I'm planning to do a minimum of 8 hours today, so it's another 4 hours. and I'm going to extend to 10 or even 12 hours as long as we stay above 2,000 people. Does set releases hype. This is really rude. The big bad wolf ate my thing. What did that Risen Reef ever do to you? He's dead, Jim. You've killed him. That's not untapped yet. I'm gonna shock this so I can play this plus trophy here, I think. And this will be untapped next turn because I now have an island. Hey, Card Game Christmas indeed. Thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. That's a good question. I should ask her what our takeout plans are. Feed me. All right, so what do they have here, right? Because they didn't play either of these out. Do they have a removal spell for this? And they just like didn't do it last turn? They said once upon a time, sure. Yeah, I'm actually really impressed with how good the mana is, in spite of the fact that we lost check lands. That's sad. Goodbye, Yarok. I hardly knew ya. For Mardu, oops. I don't even know what to call this. Mardu Adventures? It's Mardu Adventures. That's what we're gonna call it. Thanks for the submission and the support as always, Scholar. Alright, so yeah, that happens. Do I play Paper Magic sparingly? Alright, I think I'm gonna trophy this. And then we'll activate this and we'll trophy this next turn. It's definitely felt like we've had a hard time getting to field in these games, but I also think we've just gotten a little bit unlucky. I think I'm bottoming these. Am I scrying during my upkeep here? I think I'm scrying during my upkeep again here. Yeah, I'm gonna bottoms up these and scry during my upkeep. Yeah, they just haven't played that many lands, JW. Is really what it comes down to.
I've got better friends in the wilds anyway.
This doesn't... I could hold this to potentially make a zombie later, but I think like, with activating these castles every turn, I think it's important that I just, like, have all my lands in play here, ideally. Yeah, I did a lot of paper for a long time. Now I'm a full-time meme. Questing Beast is really good. Believe it or not. So if I pay, I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could scry into another removal spell here, huh? That's something that could happen. Okie doke. Your move, Yugi boy. So, like, what I was counting there with my lands is I wanted to figure out, could I cast something meaningful that I scryed into in addition to this trophy? Was the question to ask myself there. Maybe I should have done these at end of turn. Oh, I guess at end of turn they still could veil some of the second one, right? You had issues triggering field. It sounds like you got pretty unlucky. This deck's actually better at triggering field this season than it was last season. Lufus, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Man, maybe I was supposed to bottom this. Or dead to a removal spell, which feels likely that they could have. Field of the Dead. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, we are very dead now. Go into a game 3 on the play. Do 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 do. I don't think this is a Disdainful Stroke matchup. They've got a number of expensive cards, like holding up mana's not great. The strokes are mostly for like other ramp decks, and they're not quite a ramp deck. Sent a donation last night and wanted to make sure you got it. I probably got it if you sent me money. If you sent money after the stream yesterday, it didn't get updated in the stream decker. Or in the deck queue. I do updates to the deck queue after every stream. Seamless transition. That's what I get paid that's why I get paid the big bucks. All about them little things. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and once on 0 here before I play a land, just because like if we find a tapped land, I want to lead on a tapped land. How long did I stream for yesterday? Slightly over 12 hours. And then after streaming, I formatted videos for YouTube, and I put 4 deck pages up on my website, and I responded to deck queue submissions that people had put in. And then I took a shower and passed out. It's the busy time of year. Huh. Choices, chat. I think it's Risen Reef. It might be Murderous Rider. I'm gonna take a Risen Reef. Sure. I'm gonna take a castle here. It's appealing to take the field, but like there's 4 fields in my deck and there's only 1 of this castle. So like with these drawing cards, I'm pretty likely to find another field. So I kind of want to take the land that's a 1-of, so when I do eventually find a field, I can trigger it easily. Did you get stuck in traffic on the way to bed? Matt and Mike did come over last night and play Switch with the kids and Christy for a bit. So I didn't get caught with them for half a second. Oh. Is he dead, Jim? Are you gonna murder him? What did my little Risen Reef ever do to you? Yeah, Risen Reef is great. It's a card where, like, when it's at its worst, like, when Risen Reef reads draw a card, your opponent discards a removal spell, like, that's still a good exchange for you, right? Giant Killer. Yeah, that one's sweet. That card's super playable. You know what else is super playable? This Yarok. This Yarok is super playable. Does Wicked Wolf work with the food token that's been made into a 3/3 by Oko? I don't know. I'm gonna go with I don't know. So I want to do the Surveil last because the Surveil will get cleared or shuffled by these other things. Let's do that. All right, that's a Cavalier of Thorns, huh? I think I actually just want Risen Reef, though, because Risen Reef, like, draws actual cards, whereas Cavalier's, like, mostly just lands. I think I'm in for that. I'm also, no, I have triple green now. It's fine, though. Opponent's too far behind this game. They didn't have any removal. Like when our decks just ignore each other, our deck is like, all right. Getting a little frisky here. They hit Doomblade. Doomblade's a good one. Yep. So I could trophy plus once, but giving them extra lands while they're stuck on land seems pretty unappealing. So I think we're just going to Murderous Rider this. A little less efficient, but not really a big deal. No, I'm not playing once this turn, Singer. Let's tap all these castles. Gobbling up the mid-range decks, chat. Gobble, gobble. How we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever around the world. Thanks for dropping in here to Hoaglandia today. If you're a new viewer, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream Magic full-time here on Twitch. I'm generally here Monday through Friday about 7 a.m. Cornfield time till about 2 or 3 p.m. Cornfield time in the afternoon. If you love constructed Magic, this is definitely the channel for you. We do some of Magic's older formats on Magic Online in the mornings, and we do Standard on Arena every single afternoon. As always, I'd love to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of my wonderful sponsors here really quick. The Vitamin String Quartet creates unique instrumental string arrangements of everything from Zelda to Zeppelin, and they would love to underscore your next gaming session. You can find them streaming now on services such as Spotify and Apple Music. Argent Beacon, welcome back. Thanks for the Prime support. BCW Supplies, the only ones I trust to protect my paper TCG cards. Using code HOAGLANDIA at bcwsupplies.com. You can save 10% on sleeves, binders, deck box, and all sorts of other fantastic gaming accessories there with them. Cardsphere.com is a peer-to-peer trading network that would love to help you turn your cards into other cards directly with other players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. And of course, the Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series is a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their standard, modern, or legacy tournaments, be sure to check out their streaming coverage as well at twitch.tv/NRG series every single month. We're 2-0 in this constructed event with Yarok Field. Heading down on into the next one. I feel like I'm slowly being convinced to play Yarok Field in the event next week for the E-League tournament. We'll see how our alliance goes. We'll see how the alliance goes, but this deck's incredibly satisfying to play. It generates like really good games of Magic. Grinded them out. Are those Birds of Paradise for sale? I mean, everything's for sale. What's the price on the Birds of Paradise? I don't know. I'd have to think about it. All right, and again, you just have to look at your Once Upon a Time very sternly and say, this hand is keepable because this Once Upon a Time is a green source. So again, this hand is keepable because Once Upon a Time is going to give us an untapped green source. You just gotta believe. Yeah, good game, Sunshine. Good luck in the rest of your set. All right, not quite yet. Almost there. Untapped green. See? Strong but firm. You just gotta let it know who's boss. You're just gonna be like, listen, this is what we're doing, and you're gonna be happy with it. Bub Jinx? I think it's sub battle day. I'm pretty sure Bub Jinx is another sub. Yep, confirmed another sub. Whoo! Oh, is it hot in here or is it just me, chat? Is it hot in here or is it just me? What is your quest? Alright, and then let's play a temple. I think I temple before I Yarok to try and scry into a land I don't already have, right? Hey, Pundit, thanks for re-upping that Prime for the second month in a row. Welcome back. Nah, I think we can beat Henge. I just want to linear them. I don't think I need to be interactive. I think we're just like, let's get linear. I want to get linear. Let's get into linear. Do 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 do. Was this a good turn 5? Yes, no. Please check a box. All right. Noxious Grasp, Assassin's Trophy. Grazer doesn't block. Again, I think these matchups tend to be kind of good for us, so sideboarding's pretty minimal. Click submit. The Yarok field deck does make me happy. Yeah, this is probably what I'm gonna submit. I like this archetype a lot. Also, the E-League event that I'm playing, deck lists are heads up, and this deck gets much better in the aggressive matchup when you know they're playing aggro, because you get to mulligan those random slow hands that you sometimes keep because they're fighting against mid-range. It's a pretty big deal. Yeah, this stands great. 5 differently named lands, all our colors, removal spell, Risen Reef. It's a sneeper keeper, do 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 do, sneep ba ba keep ba ba do 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 do. Yeah, I kind of agree, Shep. I think there's a very real chance that Big Bully Yarok keeps the mid range down. Like this is like not the start my opponent wants to have here, right? Like they want to have, maybe they have a bunch of questing beasts, but they ideally want to be putting pressure on here. Yeah, they could just have a bunch of questing beasts, and like the rest of our hand's kind of medium, right? Like if we keep bricking off here, like we've yet to draw a spell this game. I'm probably supposed to do that inside of combat, right? I guess killing it keeps them from playing Henge for 5, though. 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Killing it sooner hedges some things, killing it later hedges other things. Well, we're not activating the castle anytime soon. If the opponent's just on a bunch of removal spells from here, they're probably dead. Once is, I feel like that sequencing is weird. I feel like they're supposed to play once on their turn to try and find a 3. Like they have decent 3s in their deck. Ooh, auto tapper. Gotta watch the auto tapper, chat. And just like that, suddenly the fact that we hadn't drawn many spells is irrelevant because now all of our lands make 2/2/2s. Sure, you have a great henge. Now this is, I'm interested to see how this plays out from here. Like, their engine's online, our engine's online, so like, can the henge allow them to keep up with what we have going on? I would assume it can't, but we'll see. Great. Once upon a time, there was, Sure. Shouldn't we once before the land drop in case we hit Yarok? Yeah, maybe. I don't know, I wanted to fetch first. And like here, right? Is it crazy to just take Risen Reef? I kind of want to just take Risen Reef, huh? Were we punished? I kind of want to just take Risen Reef and draw a card. I should technically change phases here, so their mana pool clears. And these cards I don't care about, so we'll take Once Upon a Time. Can we take Yarok and Risen Reef only if your name is Alex Bertoncini? So, one thing that's kind of on my mind here. It's a good one. That's a good one. I kind of feel like the blue castle has been better than the black castle for us. Like, this deck keeps a lot of cards in its hand, and I feel like scrying 2 is better than drawing and bleeding a lot of the time. What do we think? Super punished for attacking with my Cavalier. Super punished for attacking with the Cavalier. You felt the same playing it? Yeah. I need to sit and think about the mana and count all the numbers out. I think the blue castle might be better though. Magic is an incredibly skill-based game. Definitely low variance, high skill. I have 2 scries. Let's take first spell. In. Yeah, Yarok's ETB is like straight out of Stranger Things. Yeah, I would honestly be kind of surprised if traditional mono red is the ideal aggro deck this season. The Oko and the food mechanic in general make it very tough to keep up with, or very tough to utilize. So, is it crazy to think I'm supposed to wait? Am I supposed to not kill this? What are the odds they haven't found a second one by now, right? I feel like the odds they don't have a second one is low, and I feel like I'd rather just like kill like another questing beast here. Like, is it too bold to assume we can just play through this? I can also kill something and attack here, right? If I kill this, they block 4 things. They block this and 3. They take 14. That's not too crazy. We're getting close to a lethal attack here. The problem with this is if they hit Legion's End, we're gonna die. Yeah, but so Genesis, I'm not saying stopping their card advantage is bad. What I'm saying is there's a high probability that trophying their Great Hedge basically doesn't do anything at this point in the game because they likely have another Great Hedge in their hand, right? So like if I trophy this and they have another one, I've effectively just like wasted my trophy, right? I'm gonna pay 2 and draw a card here. Yeah, this would be much better if we had a blue castle. Like scrying 2 here would be much better than paying 2 life to draw 1 card. I'm gonna lead on this because this might bait removal on this other Risen Reef, and then they don't have removal for this. One could really make the argument that I was a master at baiting. There's definitely a strong argument for that to be made. Oh, am I supposed to kill the lifelinker to set up lethal? Yeah, see, I knew I was gonna be a dirty, filthy lucker, though. And do this. Bye, Felicia. Alright, so if they have a removal spell here, they have 6, so they block 1, 2, and then 4 of these. Alright, I'm gonna send like this and just throw half of these away to connect for some damage here, because I feel like I need to hammer their health total a little bit before they get to a like I'm throwing away this and 5 zombies. I'm throwing away 6 2-power things or 5 2-power things to hit them for 12, which seems reasonable here. We have 27 cards in our deck. So this sets us up for a lethal turn next turn, potentially. And this has been impressive, right? Like their deck is like kinda kept up with us. Like if they hit Legion's End, they're in this game. If they hit Legion's End plus another removal spell, they're really in this game. It's a lot of blockers. Now I want all my zombies in play, so that way they have to go super wide, so I can still threaten lethal next turn potentially. Are they thinking about attacking? That seems loose. Nah, I'm gonna draw for the turn first, rather than upkeep draw. Most of my things I can cast. There's still 1 basic left in my deck, right? Yep. Yeah, I mean, the hedge decks can just attack Narset, though, for the most part. Are they dead on board? I haven't counted. They might be dead on board. I don't know. I'm drawing cards. Calm down. Did I play a land yet this turn? I've not played a land, so I'm going to decline this so I can put this into my hand. And Murderous Rider actually insulates us against the Legion's End. So they have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blockers. I have 12 attackers, so they block 1, 2, plus 7 of these. And they're exactly dead, assuming they don't have a removal spell. But my Murderous Rider lets me kill them, right? Is there a reason to get super aggressive here? Like, is there anything I'm thinking about? So I can -1 a blocker, and then they have 8 blockers for this, and 6 of these. So they're taking 6 plus 1, so that's 12, 13. So even if they have a removal spell, they're dead. I'm just gonna hang out on the off chance that they have like disfigures in their deck. If they have 2 disfigures there, we don't kill them and we die in the backswing, right? Whereas like with this Murderous Rider draw, they need double Legion's End, and with the Blast Zone too, like what are the odds they can kill us, right? Right? Like I'm pretty sure with this and this, the correct answer is wait. No, Rider's not opponents only. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, you lose 2. No, the Beast can still block. That's why Beast is really good. Lovestruck Beast wouldn't be a playable card if it couldn't block. Yeah, Blast Zone's gonna clear out a lot here. Yeah, with the Blast Zone and the Riders, I think we can afford to play around like double Disfigure last turn. Is that 1, right? Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. All right. Fair. 6, 7. This is 6, 11, 12, 16. Okay, now we're short. All right, here we go. Here we go again. Here we go again. Should have known, should have known, should have known again. Do 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 do. Boppy! And we have Dub's Rider here. So like, even if they hit Dub's Legion Den, they don't get us. All right. That's it. Your move, Yugi boy. This is all I got. Were the arrows finally fixed on the lands? That's a good question. I don't know the answer to it. God bless. It's actually really impressive that, like, they just hadn't drawn a second copy of Great Henge. So, killing this earlier would have paid off because they were just pretty unlucky and never drew a second one. Once upon a time, there was a concession. Oh, did they discard one? No, that's a Questing Beast. No, yeah, they actually just haven't had another one. That's a Questing Beast. Right? I've missed things before. I don't think I see one in here. Yeah, those are Questing Beasts. Yeah, but like that, I also just got like to answer my important question, right? Like, could I outgrind a Henge? They're a sub, so I bet they're playing the list we've been playing with 4 of them. All right, so they have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 blockers, and they're at 21. So they're still dead because we're attacking for 40, so they like take out of here. Yeah. See, chat? How do you deal with 30 to 50 feral zombies in 2 to 5 minutes? You don't, do you? These things are important and we need to discuss them. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I had double removal spell at the end there, Bub Jinx, to kill my own zombies. So the Legion's End. There was a small window where Legion's End would have cleared my zombies, but for a while there I was holding up a removal spell. Field is the top of the format. Yeah, nothing goes over field is exactly correct. Yikes. Alright, yep, sign me up. Is it crazy to bottom trophy here? Bottom trophy here. See how that goes. Could be wrong. Simic Flash viable currently. In my experience, that deck is incredibly underpowered. Not a big fan of it. It struggles with both aggro and control. Speaking of staying over 2,000, we're at 2,700 people. Y'all are awesome. Happy Saturday, folks. Hope you're having a wonderful release weekend. If you're playing sealed, hope your pools are excellent. That's a good way to win it sealed. All right, so we're going to go ahead and Once Upon a Time for free now. See what we get here. Yeah, Blast Zone actually sounds fine. And then we'll play Blast Zone out. And then we can cast this for 2 mana, and then we can Beanstalk Giant next turn. Ooh. Huh? Do we greed? I think we greed. It looks like they're a Field of the Dead deck as well, so like greeding here sounds kind of appealing. We're a little short on green at the moment. Looks like the opponent's playing Golos Field, which is good. I'm interested to see how this matchup plays. This is the matchup I have Disdainful Strokes in my sideboard for. Once Upon a Time is a mistake. Yeah, probably. Probably. Let's end this Golos swiftly. Yep. Yep. And this is the other concern, right? Like, our Field of the Dead deck is one that's a little bit lower to the ground, so it can respect aggressive decks, but like, the opponent's Field of the Dead deck is one that's bigger and greedier than ours, so it's probably ahead in a heads-up matchup against us. Which is not necessarily a good place to be. You have to enable emotes to interact with your pet now, Kylo. Which really sucks. I hope they change that back. Yeah, you have to have emotes on. I don't know if it's a feature or a bug, but it's how it currently works. Yeah, we're not quite dead yet. To see how good this Once Upon a Time is. Their Once Upon a Time was bad. And they drew a good one by that, I mean. Yeah, that's been that way for a long time, Greater. That's been that way for 2 or 3 matches now. Feels dead, man. Well, those were not the running lands I needed to hit to be in this game. Are we dead? I think so, right? Because we can block, jump, eat, block 3, take 12, we go to 10. Yep. We needed, if we'd have hit one land there, if we would have hit one land there, we would have been fine. Blue Red Alliance is listed on the standard decks page on my website. It's not in the queue because I had it this morning. We didn't even need to hit another field. We just had to hit any land. Because Yarok would have made 2 zombies. I think I'm trimming Murderous Rider here. Is this too much interaction total? It's probably too much interaction. I think I just cut Rider. Yeah, I agree, Big Kitty. I'm not a fan of losing to people. And, like, these field mirror matches are, like, why I ended up playing the Aristocrats deck in the Twitch Rivals tournament last week. Was because, like, these field mirrors are largely decided by who decided to fuck off in the aggro matchup more. Who decided that they didn't want to play against aggro more. Like, and I'm a big fan of having respect for aggressive decks, so that tends to mean that I get punished in mirror matches like this. The Alliance deck list will be up on screen in a little bit after we finish this. I'm gonna play one more. Just the truth, random guy. Playing field mirrors is miserable, and getting under people doing it is ideal. Sure. Any third land is good here, right? Even a colorless land lets us Beanstalk Giant. Morning, Vernash. Yeah, I agree. I like the gameplay of the blue-red deck, too. That's still free. Dismal Backwater. Really wanted to find a land there. Woof. Stingy, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Are you asking, like, who did the artwork, Kylo Ren, or like what the meaning behind them is. Definitely all the Disfigures. Trophy, maybe some of the Legion's End. I feel like Risen Reef is a little slow and clunky here. I want to keep my top end so I can close the game out. The sub badges tell the progression of your travels through Hoaglandia. There's a shovel and then boots, so you can have equipment to toil in the fields when you first arrive. And then there's a wooden training sword as you prepare to become a Knight of the Realm. And then at 12 months, you get a shield along with a mod sword as you join the Knights of Hoaglandia. And then there's a horse for knights, and then there's a map marking out a plot of land that you get once you've been here long enough. And then at 4 years, there's a castle to put on your land. I mean, I've talked about how I would balance being on the draw before, Caboose Man. In my opinion, a really easy way to balance how the person on the draw is behind is I would have the person on the draw start with 8 cards in their hand. Rather than having the person on the draw an extra card in the first turn, I would have them start mulliganing from 8, so that way they get to mulligan with more information. Gazi, speaking of knights, let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for the entire year of support. And Enzies, thank you for the brand new Prime. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Thanks for keeping around. The only difference, is there's always this deck command here, Ghostly Flow. The only difference on my website is -1 Cavalier, +1 Beanstalk. I think I want to take Dismal to have my colors, huh? I could take Overgrown Tomb to turn 1 Grazer, but I don't think I want to do that. I have to shock to do that. Seeing 8 cards would be good for everyone, Stegall. Being on the draw is still a disadvantage, even with that. Everybody thinks everything makes combo decks busted. People are terrified of change. If the London Mulligan didn't make combo decks busted beyond belief, nothing's going to. Calm down. Nah, you're fine, Ghostly. Yeah, I think I'm in for that. It's a 5th land and it's a 3rd green source. If it wasn't a 3rd green source, I think I'd bottom a land there, but 3rd green source unlocking Cavalier as a draw seems fine. Yeah, things like tabs on the deck editor page are some of the many things that would be nice to have as quality of life features. Is Gilded Goose better than Landmore Elves? It's different from Landmore Elves. Definitely not a strictly better worse comparison. Pre-combat skewer there is great for us. Depends on the matchup for Nash. Like most things in Magic, the answer is it depends. They have a land for Chandra too. Weird. Are they like light up the stage here? Cast my 7 mana 7/7. Go. I wonder if they think Grazer has Defender. No, they must. They definitely know it doesn't. Okay. I mean, what constitutes good design and what doesn't is definitely super subjective. There's a lot of things I think don't constitute good game design that Wizards of the Coast does pretty consistently, so obviously their designers disagree with me. I will say exploring Land War Elf Henge decks in Historic is definitely going to be something you want to be taking a peek at. Go to town with a sandwich. I think I'd actually rather just play this out as a 2/3. They're down to 5. Oh gosh. With Steel Leaf Champion. Yeah, Mono Green Stomp is going to be sweet in Historic. Which, speaking of, if you're someone who thinks Historic's going to be sweet, I agree with you. I am planning to add a weekly Historic stream that's going to be best of 3 sub-battles, probably starting sometime in October. We'll see. As long as Standard's breaking 2,000 viewers every day, we're going to keep doing a bunch of Standard. But when the Standard hype dies off a touch, we're going to go ahead and add some Historic in.
Remember this one?
Once upon a time, there was a... Gosh, that's so close to lethal. We're 1 off. Do I take Cavalier so I can try and find a life gain land? I also just take this and play it as a lifelinker. I think I take this and play it as a lifelinker. I think I'm dead to a deal 3 no matter how I slice this, though, right? Because, like, if I attack like this Chandra gets to flashback and deal 3, and then another deal 3 from their hand kills me because they double block and save their Chandra. If I attack everything at Chandra, they just don't block and Chandra dies, and then they make these unblockable and they kill me. Oh, they can't double block? Oh, yeah, true. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. They can't double block to save Chandra because they have to block Beanstalk Giant. Yeah, I'm dumb. Okay, so we're dead to another deal 4 here. So if they have a second copy of Slaying Fire, we are dead. We're also dead to Skewer. We're dead to Skewer still because of the castle. Smells like Slaying Fire. Rough. Heartfire is also lethal. Yeah, I'd be surprised they were on Heartfire and Slaying Fire. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna play this deck in the E-League event. I think this deck seems pretty reasonable, and I like this build, but I really just don't want to play Field of the Dead Mirrors. Like, if you told me I was never going to play against an opposing Field of the Dead, I would snap this deck off, but I really just don't have a strong desire to play this deck into potential mirrors and pseudo mirrors. Especially because, like, the pseudo mirrors are going to be like the Golos variations that are probably going to have a lot more greedy configurations than we do. How much time left to submit? I have to submit the deck in the next 5 hours, so we're gonna wrap on this one. Up next, we're gonna play some Blue-Red Alliance. That's the third deck I'm considering. The Black-Green Henge, Yarok Field, and then the Blue-Red Alliance deck is the third one I'm considering. So after we play this one, I'll make a decision. Before we dive into this one, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick ad break. I'm gonna go run to the bathroom and fill my water bottle, so don't go anywhere. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Hope you're having a good one. No, the event is on Wednesday, but deck lists are due today. I want deck lists in advance. Yeah, should restart the client too. Good call. Thank you for your reminder, subs. You are wonderful. All right, I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick. Hey, Quintez. Thanks for the 18 months of support there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good one. All right. Let's take a picture, post it in the subs Discord. How long am I planning on streaming today? I'm planning to do a minimum of another 3 hours. And I'm going to go longer than that so long as we stay above 2,000 viewers. If we stay above 2K folks, I'm planning to do another 12-hour day. His topless stands during the sub-holy breaks? Yeah, no one believes that. No one believes that, nor do they want to see it. The Dab Man, definitely.
Don't make your life garbage time. Join us in Hoaglandia today by subscribing to Jeff Hoagland with Twitch Prime today.
All Rand, speaking of Prime subs, thanks for the brand new Prime sub. Welcome to Hoaglandia. I appreciate the support. Missed a donation while I was away. Thanks. Thanks for the submission, Blackheart. We'll get that added to the deck queue after I'm all done today. Thanks for the content. What's my favorite deck I played so far in New Day? You can always find my favorites on my website.